What's going on, fellas? It's Steeler here, back again. Today I want to talk about the next Xbox. Not the Xbox One, but the Xbox 2? I don't fucking know. But anyways, first it's random shout-out time. Today I'd like to give a shout-out to Xbox All In. Go check this guy out. He might be right up your alley. Link in the butt-fucking description. But anyways, not long ago, Phil Spenser was talking about the fact that there will be another Xbox console after the X1. And that is common sense to those that possess common sense. Of course there will be another console. Consoles aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Sony was also stated as saying that they are working on the PlayStation 5 as well. And hey, I think it's smart, right? Get all of the bugs out of your hardware. Make sure we don't have any horrendous hardware failures like we did with the 360. And do all you can to ensure that your product is truly future-proof. And that includes performance, Microsoft. Now, a lot of people didn't think the jump from the 360 to the X1 was quite big enough, right? Or the PS3 to the PS4 was quite big enough. These games are struggling at 1080p and 30 frames a second on both consoles, and that's obvious. So, if you didn't know, the Xbox 360 was about 0.25 teraflop in computational power. That's how they measure performance for different GPUs and different devices. The 360 was 0.25 teraflop. Now the Xbox One is estimated at about 1.5 teraflop. Now that is a 6 times jump from the Xbox 360. So you can stack 360s on top of each other, and that's the power you've got in the Xbox One. Now theoretically. Now what the developers get and this and that, that's a different fucking story. But it's obvious that some of these games coming out now could have never been run on the 360 or PS3. You know, Star Wars Battlefront looks fucking phenomenal. But anyways, the power jump wasn't enough this generation, Microsoft and Sony. And it's obvious you're going to have to go a bit more. Now, if we do say they take the bare minimum, which is a 6 times jump, right? That still puts the next Xbox, at over 7 teraflops. Now, that is more powerful than a GTX Titan. I think the Titan's around 7, 7.5, something like that. Maybe even 8, but even so, that's still around the same power as a $1,000 GPU today. Which, you know, that would be nuts for a console. You know, obviously on a PC, they're much less efficient. You don't get quite all of that performance out of those GPUs. But that would be insane for a console. And I really do think this generation was a generation of humbling for Microsoft, for obvious reasons. You know, when you get butt-fucked into submission for a while, you tend to be like, alright, fuck, man, we need to get out first, we need to have the most powerful console, we need to have the best games, and we need to have the best online. And that's exactly what Microsoft need to do to reclaim your throne, because you definitely have the most fan service going on with the features you're bringing and how willing you are to do things for the consumer. Microsoft is obviously in the lead by a landslide. So, you know, I'm looking forward to the next console. Some of you might be like, hey, you're getting ahead of yourself. I agree. But hey, I'm still looking forward to it because I think it's going to be such a great generation. I cannot wait to see what they do. And I still can't wait to see what developers can get out of the current hardware on the X1 and PS4, because this generation, it's still got, you know, 4 or 5 more years to go. So, of course, I'm enjoying the hardware now, but I cannot wait for the next Xbox. And Microsoft, it's very important to get some fucking serious performance under the box, alright? You have the money to take the losses, and you understand how important this is now after getting, you know, so much propaganda and bullshit against you because you've got a few less pixels, alright? You also know that you probably shouldn't start your OS from scratch again. Do not leave us with no friends notifications at the beginning of the next generation like you did this one. It was obvious the OS wasn't ready. So, you know, keep using what you've been using. Carry over this current OS and all of the improvements you'll make over this generation and put them on the next Xbox, right? Keep building. And then if you want to do a new dashboard, do it in the middle of that generation. I don't fucking know. But just have all these features and shit here. You know, it needs to be a complete ecosystem. You know, so I don't know, it's just very important to do that. I also have a feeling the next Xbox will be backwards compatible thanks to emulation with not only 360 games, but Xbox One games. I'm not sure if they'll have to emulate the X1 games. I know they're going to use a very similar architecture. I'm not sure. But I think they'll use at least one emulator, maybe the one they've already got on the X1, to have some kind of backwards compatibility. But let me know what you guys think down below. I know it's a ways off, but I think it's interesting to talk about. You know, Microsoft have learned many lessons, hey, they're better for it in my opinion. But like, comment, share, subscribe for new videos, guys. I'm Dealer. I'm out.